followers. I don't know, maybe 7,000, something like that. Less than that.
Even less.
Yeah, but she has a very good niche, and she works with her following.
This is like totally automated because you don't need to take care about logistics, anything about stocking goods, nothing. I mean, you just sell and product is shipped. That's it. So
they did just sort of close to 200K in revenue. So that's, for me, that sounds like a phenomenal result, to be very fair. 200,000 first year.
Graphic designer or maybe a media buyer or lawyer, whatever, like bookkeeper. So you have the knowledge and you can share with people. So you can create your own, like, I don't know, ebook or course or
Notion templates.
Some templates, or some. Hello guys, today we have episode number 2 of our BrandBoosters e-commerce podcast. And it's me, Marius, here, and my brother Arūnas.
Hey guys.
Yeah, and today we have a very interesting topic to discuss. We think that it will be very interesting for you as well. It's how to monetize your following. So, as we know, we are all like micro-influencers these days. So it makes sense to monetize our following, not to leave those money on the table. So I think even if you have like 2,000 or 3,000 followers, let's say on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever the platform, you should do it.
Yes, I think essentially what we're now going to discuss and go through a topic is how to monetize your following. So that's the keyword, is the following, and influencers build up. Everybody's a micro influencer, there's a bigger influencer, there's those who actually influence our daily lives and have a huge followings, but there's also people who have small followings. They build some audiences as well. So it's a very interesting topic because anyone can be an influencer. I think in these times we live in, when anyone and everyone should have some sort of a following. I recently bought a dog. He's a little puppy and he already has some following. So the idea is that while you have the following is, how do you monetize it? And why you should monetize it. So I think first things first, we work with some of the influencers currently and we built some e-commerce solution for them. What you need is a framework, right? So framework is an e-commerce solution or some sort of a landing page. It doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to be difficult, but you have to have essentially an e-commerce store, right? So this is where your people can land and actually buy your goods, pay for their service or the products or the services. And it can be anything, right? It can be a physical products, it can be digital products, it can be print-on-demand products that we can talk lately. First step is create a store, right? And we can definitely help with that. I mean,
for me, it's like, I think it's very unclear for people because, it's really, you understand how to gain followers. You just produce content, post it daily, and you have the followers. But next step, like how to really get money from that is it's tricky. And let's say if I have like 5,000 followers now, what should I do? What to do to monetize it?
Excellent question. So I think first thing, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, let's actually start talking. And most people, when they start to think about, creating content, like the reason why you get followers is because you create natural organic content, which is part of your life. Maybe it's sometimes a little bit more, worked out, and it looks a little bit nicer than what actually people do. But it's the genuine content, right, that gets you to it. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to create a fake product where you become super salesy and you go buy my, stuff. So my first advice would be is when you do build a framework, so have an e-commerce solution to it, you can then think about what you can actually sell to this to your following. And I would work around the product that goes around my content, right? It can be a digital good, as we talked about. So it can be some, courses, some learning courses. We have a few good examples of Etsy courses. You had a person that actually sells Etsy courses and she started, and it turns out into a whole big business. Not a lot of followers, I don't know, maybe 7,000, something like that, less than that.
Even less.
But she has a very good niche and she works with her following. It's actually, we can maybe mention the name, Neringa, and she does Etsy courses for sort of moms and like really beginners, right? So it gets into the topic.
For artisans and like
for artisans and stuff like that. So that's a very good example, you know. So you got Neringa, who has like some following, she has her niche, she creates really nice content, very organic, very funny content, and through that she built a whole business where she now created learning courses for Etsy, for people to sell on Etsy platform. But then the other side, you can also do physical goods, right? So we work with e-commerce for quite a while. We have quite, I would say, an extensive experience. It actually doesn't take a lot. You can build a nice landing page, product page. You can have your own e-commerce, simple e-commerce solution. Doesn't cost a lot of money, and you can start selling from things that actually may be close to you, something that you might be using, you know. I, for example, I used to do a lot of cycling, right? So at some point I was doing some content about cycling and I could sell that, you know, anything that relates to that. You test the products, you see if it works for you. You can source out some of the suppliers, you can list them and sell them. But then at the same time, you know, if you're a content creator at a higher level, you know, you can be looking at a scalable solution. So you can create, you know, designs, memes, and you can do print-on-demand products, and there's a whole product category in there that you can upsell and sell. So it really depends. Like, I think what you have to do is initially you should think outside the box, have this kind of open-minded solution to it, speak with your audience, see what people would like to, you know, what they resonate with when you share the content, and see what you can actually sell. It doesn't really, and don't have like high expectations that you're going to become a millionaire overnight. But everything starts from first sale, you know, just get a few sales and then see how it feels, you know. But then, so, you know, you can monetize the content. But I guess you need to somehow drive the traffic and do a lot of things. So it's not like, you know, you have an account, you have some followers, they are great, you produce some great content, they engage with your content, but what's next?
Yeah, so I would also say that, you know, the best way to monetize, I think, is like you need a store, one thing. You need to somehow organize your followers, create webinars for them, create newsletter, to warm up the audience, and then just you need to sell to them. So basically, it's a quite simple process when you divide it into the steps. Okay, so what would you say, like, what are the best ways to monetize your following in this year and 2024?
Right. So we touched a little bit about this, but my first go-to is probably, and that obviously relates to the project that I work with, I think the POD is one of the really good niches.
Print on demand,
which is an abbreviation for print on demand services.
Now, how does it work?
For people who don't understand what print on demand means, is that you don't actually, you create designs, you put them on products, you know, it can be clothing products, it can be phone cases, which is a really cool product now to sell. And you add your designs, you align it with your own personal, you know, identity or something that works for you, and then you integrate it into your e-commerce. Now, the print-on-demand provider will produce the goods. It will take care of all the production, manufacturing, fulfillment, and any issues that rise from the quality.
So it's fully automated.
So the whole beauty of it is automated thing.
So you just create the design, upload it to the system, and sell the products, and that's it.
That's it, and collect your paycheck, basically.
Okay, nice.
And then the second topic is obviously the digital products, I think. Digital products is quite easy, but it's a little bit more tricky. You have to create quality content in order for people to buy it. And, you know, I would say the third one would be even, you know, physical goods. I would go to some of the physical goods, you know. And we you know, we work with, like, you wear actually hats, so it's a little bit of a promo now for, in St. Lucas. So kudos to him, you know, he does like personal training. That's a really good case study as well. We both
create your private label.
We both joined this insane challenge of him, and then he upsells the, you know, nutritionist products, and then he upsells some merch to you and things like that. It's really cool, I think.
So okay, but this all sounds good. You know, it's in theory, you understand how this works, but I think, you know, what is the secret? How to succeed in this? Like, what you should do and what you shouldn't do from your experience? Because, you know, everyone can create, like, I don't know, some design, put it on a print-on-demand product, but but will it sell?
Yeah.
That's the question.
I think, first thing is that when you do decide to go into this, you should really don't have high expectations. Like, don't, produce yourself an expectation saying, I'm going to be a millionaire in the next year. That's what people, and then because you set yourself for a failure. But have an expectation of, okay, I'm going into this creative moment of my life and, I'm going to see what I can make it work with.
Yeah.
And then I would definitely partner with somebody who actually has some experience. So it might be a digital agency, something, what we both do with BrandBoosters brand, is that we help these content creators to make it into the product, and we have the experience for e-commerce. We know what converts. Because there is, the devil lies a lot in the details. So just because you created a product, integrated, most of the times don't actually, work. And that's because people do two mistakes in my eyes. First of all is they try to be perfectionist. So don't try to be a perfectionist. You do something, you do it as quick as possible, you release it, and then you tweak it as you move along with some feedback, data, whatever.
So just start.
Yeah, just start.
With any design, with anything.
Yeah. Second bit is, create beautiful landing pages. So product landing page for me is most of the times the most essential, the critical point for whether it's going to convert. Definitely try to get some UGC. So if it's a real, get how the product is going to look like. Actually take some pictures of it. It can be really homemade pictures. Doesn't really need to be something
make it
really
yourself.
Yeah, and then upload it, so that people actually can see the final product, or at least a sample of it, and then make it easy for people to check out. If they do come in with that emotion, I really love to get it on the device, or a T-shirt or something like that. Just make sure that they can check out with ease, so you don't make some mistakes, technical mistakes, in e-commerce. That's where we come in, and I guess it's our agency as well. We can help you out to get all that process online. Yeah. So it fully works, and then you can obviously monetize.
Okay, but so how would you sell your product? Let's say you have the audience. How would you offer it to them? Like, how would you communicate with them about this product?
I think I would just start talking about it. So it's quite simple. You don't really need to, kind of just go in and go, as I said, don't be salesy, Being sales is something that people dislike these times, and then it can perceive you as dishonest, But just show the product, start talking about it, connect with the product actually at an emotional level. So there's really great example of it is, for example, one of the content creator, Giarama. She's an artist. What she does, she puts that art, she puts it on different products, and through that she communicates with her audience. So you can do the same kind of a thing, if it works for you, if it feels great, if you design something that is kind of close to you, just express, tell about it to people, and then most likely if you connect it with it, some other people will connect with it. You can also personalize it, There's a lot of things that you can do with print on demand. So the beauty of it is that you can really quickly release different designs, different, you can do 10 products, 100 products within, one day. You can test those, but you can also personalize. You can add some names, you can add some dates, you can make it memorable for people. It can be part of their, some sort of event in their lives. So it can create some sort of more emotional value to it as well.
And I also think, that when you are a creator, influencer, or how you call it, like when you communicate, you have your style, you have some themes that you are talking about, you have, I don't know, some interesting topics you are sharing. So you always can build something about it, even if it's like, I don't know, some sentence, a word or some design or something, and put it on the products, like let's say T-shirts, hoodies, I don't know, phone cases, and people will connect with it because they are following you because of those messages, right?
I especially like the phone cases because I think when it comes to hoodies or T-shirts, it's a little bit like kind of, if I'm wearing a hoodie or a T-shirt, like it has to be something a little bit more for me, like, bigger maybe, it's like if you have a few hundred followers, then you don't want to do T-shirts because, well, it depends what kind of designs you're going to do. If you do them really clean and nice, maybe, but it's a personal taste. But it's also, the whole point is not to overcomplicate, create a simple mechanism, not to be too salesy, build a kind of trust and following with people, connect, be honest about it, but also, don't be afraid of dropshipping. What we actually talked about is that a lot of people, when I speak with them, they instantly want to build a brand, and that's one of the mistakes as well. So it's first is perfectionism, but the second bit is trying to do custom packaging and all that other stuff, trying to make a really perfect the logo. I see some people debating, like they create 5 different variants of logo and then they talk about it. And it's like, nobody cares about it.
Nobody cares.
Like, until you made 1 million, you don't have a brand. There's no brand. If you haven't made a million in revenue, your brand is not existing. Nobody cares about your brand. The product, the service, the solution, whatever you do, that's
you can literally, your logo can be like literally some
2 letters
name, or something
name,
like
2 letters,
just a font. But I heard this one actually this week, this one interesting idea that I mean, to start something, if you, let's say you want to be an artist, at some point you have to start drawing that ugly tree, when you are a child or something like that's the first step. You will never draw a masterpiece from the from the start. So and it works in every, especially in business. You just need to start doing something, offering something to people, and you will improve it with the time.
Absolutely.
Okay, so okay, we talked about the idea, and how to communicate, how to create. Now let's talk about technical setup. So how would you suggest to create a store? I mean, for creators, for influencers, they don't know anything about e-commerce. So what is the best way?
I would 100% recommend. You should always try to think and learn the skills that you can use as you move along, right? So if it's something that you're not planning to do, like, you should avoid doing. So if you're not planning to build more e-commerce stores, don't try to learn to build it. I mean, you can learn the basics, you can look at it, but even the most user-friendly platforms will require technical knowledge. They will require IT literacy to some extent. And it can be frustrating. You can fail. You can, then it's going to ruin the whole of the fun, So what I would suggest is find a partner, and to be very fair, Shopify store can cost as little as 500 euros. It can cost 5 and 10 and 15,000. Really depends on the use case. But a simple, clean store. And we can also touch maybe the budget question. I think you should definitely allocate 1,000 euros at least to start with. Save up some money, invest in it, find a partner that can be your e-commerce partner. Build a simple, clean, easy to navigate e-commerce solution. Shopify is definitely my go-to solution for that.
I agree.
And that's, every time people ask me why, I say that Shopify is optimized for conversions. That's the real kind of thing. And then you have all these abundance of apps that you can use and test things and see what works for you, what doesn't work. You can really customize it to whatever you think you want. Then you integrate if it's a print-on-demand solution or if it's a dropshipping product, it's really down to you. Most of the times, like what we do, we discuss with clients, we advise people. You can discuss and find various options, whether it's integrated solutions and what's the best and easiest way to do, so you can build a whole system that is easy to operate and that you don't need, external people or teams of people. And then, create automated solutions. So it has to be, the best way is to give a great customer experience as well. And for that, you need, product to be produced, shipped, fulfilled fast. And when you're starting, that can be something that people, overcomplicate once again, because they tend to get the goods in-house. We are, guilty of that as well. We started one e-commerce brand. At some point, I was fulfilling it from home. It's a nightmare, I spoke with some of the guys as well. One of my person that I like, a colleague that I know, he did the book, and then he started to do the book by himself. I said it's just an operational nightmare. So try to avoid these mistakes as well.
So I really like this whole automation in POD, because you really don't need to, it's even better than compared to the regular drop shipping, which is also could be automated. But this is totally automated, because you don't need to take care about, logistics, anything about stocking goods, nothing. I mean, you just sell and product is shipped. That's it. So you created the design once, and then you sell it many times, and it's always fulfilled in a fast way. You can sell it worldwide even. I mean, it will be delivered everywhere. So
you can also test really fast. You can test different designs, really fast. And as long as you have a good partner, you're 50% already to the success.
And also, later, let's say you start with your own store, you can move to, I don't know, Etsy or whatever, like other marketplaces as well with your designs. So
you can integrate those as well to make the solution. Great. So that's really awesome,
Okay, so what would you say? Like we talked about print on demand, about digital products. So let's say how to choose. Like, if I'm a creator, what should I do? Like, is it better for me to start with POD or sell digital products?
It's really a personal, I think, choice. If I would be a small, like I have on Instagram 500 followers, so I'm actually reaching that point where I have 500 followers. If now I would have to monetize my following, I would think about what actually people are following me for reasons that those people have been in my life, at some points. But I talk about business, I talk about, how to launch different products. I would probably launch a digital course, maybe a webinar as well, do some kind of where I share my knowledge. But at the same time, I would add the POD products as well to it. So maybe, a really cool phone case
connected to that team.
So, maybe some ideas with the learning. So it's kind of, it can be very sort of individual for everyone. Somebody who's maybe not, into that, I would maybe make motivational quotes on something, and go through that, and start to do it. And do a POD product with kind of a light. So I think the most beautiful thing, if you can build a 360 kind of event where, you have your following, and then you can take that following and turn it into like, quantifiable data. So it's like an email, a name, a contact information, or anything like that. And then you can turn those into your e-commerce customers, and then you kind of create, and then those once again, you re-engage with your content, and you spin off. And then probably the fourth step would be as well to make them your ambassadors or affiliates. But we can talk about this maybe next time. Great. What I also, what interests me, so we touched a little bit about this, but I think it's really always best to look into real examples and case studies, and understand who's actually, who's done what. So what I really love to touch is one of them, one of the artists that we did work with. They launched their e-commerce, never done e-commerce before, approached us with very sort of, idea that they perhaps want to monetize their, content. They had pretty good content and like lovely content. They huge following, I would say. Very untraditional following. Most people now, when they think about following, they think about Instagram. But that was actually more Facebook, isn't it? So it's Facebook posts, long posts, very personal stories telling. And what we did is we helped them to build an e-commerce store last year, December, I think, kind of they launched just really in a quick, was it 3 weeks before they actually went live, created designs that they already had and launched POD products, right? I've actually had a look year to date, so this is going to be the first year when they're turning around.
I think we will be able to pull it on the screen.
So we can share it on the screen, but so what they did just sort of close to 200K in revenue. So that's, for me, that sounds like a phenomenal result, to be very fair. 200,000 first year, not having any e-commerce experience, just taking up to the products, different products, launching it, and monetizing it, and make actually killer in profits as well, because most of their traffic is just organic traffic. So they don't really pay for
margins are really high, like 50% or something.
Crazy high. But that's that's the beauty. It's like they got. I guess it's an ideal situation where like people already had a lot of inputs. They've done many years before they actually went in and they created this.
But I mean, it's a local influencer creator. So I think he has like 70K or something followers. Not
it's not even that much.
So like it's not that much these days. I mean, on TikTok you can have Like kids have more
50K.
followers, so even with such following, you can make like 200, 300K a year with a very healthy margin.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's a living for you. So you can actually live out of the city. So I pulled the numbers, it's 256,000.
Yeah.
256,000 in revenue, and
it's not full year yet.
It's not even full year, so we're closing now to Q4.
It will be like 300.
Probably 350 even, I would say, So they did almost 4,500 orders. That's crazy, So if you would have to deal with like logistics of that would have been a nightmare. You would have to have a warehouse. You would have to have, you would have so much upfront investments that you have to deal because they had just a reliable partner that they can actually choose, which is something that we can mention a good word about. So Podbase is a POD provider, print-on-demand provider, specializing in tech accessories, really high-quality products. Such brands like Burger and the others are using them as well to utilize to their growth. Absolutely, recommended to check them out. If you do want to launch your customized phone cases and other tech accessories, they're moving into products. So really recommend it. Cool. The other case is what we want to have a look about, and we can obviously talk into this diver, but maybe we can do this next time. Is Marimade. So it's an influencer, and she started in as I'm just trying to pull actually some of the data. 46,000 followers, 46,500 followers. That seems like nothing. Almost 2,000 posts.
Like
a lot of posts.
For Lithuania, it's something. Like if you are from global, bigger countries, global, it's
nothing. Yeah.
You are like micro.
So she done like really cool two things. So she took what she really loved doing and she created some of the designs. I remember when she started in the very beginning, she did some products drop shipping. She did like this hair style collection, and she was drop shipping them from different providers for globally, some of them from China, some of them from somewhere else. And eventually, when she had some traction and maturity, she realized, okay, she can actually produce maybe these products in house. She started to producing them, and then she found once again a really good combo, which is like something that I would never realize that can work. Is like all this hair thing for the ladies, and then phone cases, and she makes a killing. I'm not entirely sure how many orders she does get, but from what I've actually know, like it's definitely at least like several thousand every month. So you're probably talking about in excess of like 50 to maybe 100K revenue actually in most of these cases. It's just crazy, That's like
per month.
Yeah, per month. That's 46,000 followers. So that just shows, a very easy to navigate design shop, nothing really too fancy. Once again, initially started in different platform, eventually realized.
Pictures are very good.
Yeah, love the pictures. But like it's now, because now it became like pro. Like if you were to go back like a year ago when she was just starting, it was very basic, And she, once again, she does new collections, new designs, new products, really nice products, good quality, people loving it, and she monetizes through her own creation. She does a little bit of paid advertising, but not too much. But I love the designs that she has. Like actually, I see this she released for this for this autumn, this jungle collection. It's really actually cool. And then once really, I guess what we need to look into these things is how do you you have to create value. So that sometimes is a bundling. I love bundling. So you're not about just buy the phone case, but you just buy a phone case, buy this, get a discount on these two products, and maybe you can as well.
Increasing average order value as well.
What do you think? Like, how much to the success in e-commerce product offer actually impacts?
Well, I always say that product and your offer is like 80% of the result, because you can always sell a shitty product which nobody needs with amazing marketing, with a lot of money. You can sell that.
Yeah.
Will you sell it profitably? That's the big question. But if you have something what people really needs, and you you have, I don't know, basic white website with a picture and, button buy, you will sell it. I mean, like sell toys during Christmas time or something like that. You will not need to convince people to buy them. So, product is and in this case, in POD, I would say, the success is, I think, in the design and how she presents it and how she communicates it. It's all about the product. Because phone case is a phone case. Everyone needs a phone case.
Yeah.
But the question is what phone case they will buy.
Yeah. So I think it kind of goes back to the fact that the market is growing. So the product itself has a lot of traction. But I also think, as you mentioned, offer. So like when it comes to offer, you should definitely think about it. Like if you're going to come out straight in and say, and we do have some examples where it works, for people say, okay, this is the price, have this product for this price. That's great, but it's really awesome to give some incentives for people to choose, because it's kind of like in sales, while you generated the interest, now you need to close, and that closing can be, a discount, it can be a bundle, it can be a special offer, it can be buy two get free, it can be buy one get one, product, it can be, okay, we're now going into Christmas, so so you have to kind of as well time it. But this is, once again, that's why you should have someone on this journey as an e-commerce partner, so they can advise you, they can guide you, they can set exactly things.
Basically, who go through all the process, know all the mistakes, and you don't need to experiment yourself.
Cool. One more that I wanted to touch is, what about newsletters? Obviously you've done some email marketing in your time. There's a lot of solutions now coming out, and what I've seen is like people create content. So there's a really cool guy, Linas Beliūnas. I met him back in 2013. I think I started to follow him on LinkedIn. He created a lot of LinkedIn content.
He's number one from Lithuania.
Yeah, he's number one.
LinkedIn,
It's just crazy because he worked in sales. I worked in sales at that point, a different project. And I saw at the beginning, started to talk about fintechs, and he really launched out. I think he's making like crazy, engagement on the LinkedIn. But what he did then is now he moved into this newsletter. So he used Substack, where he creates a lot of content in Substack, and then he shares, and then he monetizes the followers to subscribe and other stuff like that. What is your opinion on that? Actually, that's another way to monetize. So traditional one is like Instagram. You have some followers, or Facebook. You do e-commerce. Then another way is probably why not do like digital content, so information and newsletters.
So I think when you have followers on some sort of platform, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever, you need to start to think how to own that asset, like how to own those emails or contacts, because you still kind of attached to the platform, and you really are connected to the algorithm and how it performs for you. So you never know what can happen. So when you own the contacts, let's say you create a email newsletter, and you provide value through your newsletter, you will have that forever, and you will have that connection with those followers. So then you can sell to them even more, I think. And especially if you are digital products are good for, I would say, someone who has some sort of a knowledge. Let's say, I don't know, you are a graphic designer, or maybe a media buyer, or lawyer, whatever, like bookkeeper. So you have the knowledge, and you can share with people. So you can create your own, I don't know, ebook or course, or
Notion templates.
Some templates, or some downloadables, I don't know, planners, whatever. And you can use AI to help you to create that really fast these days. But the best way, is to own that asset, of people.
The information. This is actually really something interesting that you touched on. I just came up with this idea. There's so many, for example, people who are lawyers, right? So there's some successful, there's less successful, there's people, right? And there's new upcoming lawyers and things like that. Imagine if you would actually not only monetize on the fact that you're a lawyer, but you monetize, you start to create some content around it. And then you create, for example, a Notion template where you just kind of give away your framework of the way you work. And then you gave away that, and then you can some give away for free, some you can actually start charging. People would definitely buy into this, especially in these like professions where people are, where law, it's like it's very definable, very money making, very sort of specialized. So you give a framework, your own successful, law firm, whatever framework, and that's an awesome thing. You can do that. You can probably make more money out of following eventually, just advising rather than just.
Actually, I just started following one lawyer on Instagram, and she is like, she went very fast to like 30K followers, and she's sharing, like a basic legal advices to every people.
Yeah.
And people are following because you won't find a lot of information like that online,
and most of it is very difficult to read because it's written in jumbo law.
And this is in simple words, like Instagram post, like if you have this case, you should do this. That's it. That's amazing.
I love it as well, and it works several ways. So first thing, it works because it generates leads for you. So I assume she gets quite a bit of like leads just from that following. So you then it works as a sales strategy. You can then upsell some basic things. You can also maybe upsell some, custom calls or like you can upsell consultations. You can upsell, some, and you can use automations in it. Like, man, we're living in.
You can do mentorship to other lawyers.
Mentorships, it's a very interesting topic. So we should really discover, maybe go deeper into this. I think one of our podcasts as well, and look into like if you are a specialized professional, specializing in field, and you have specific knowledge, and this could be doctors, this could be dentists, it could be anyone, right? And you can actually create content around it. That's great.
Okay, so I think we should wrap up.
Yeah.
It was like maybe half an hour already. Yeah. So what we discussed that, the ways how you should monetize your followers. We explained how you could create your e-commerce store or your digital products. And basically how everything is quite easy and simple, but if you don't know things, it could be difficult and take you a long time. And to learn, create about how to create store, to learn all the marketing things and stuff like that. So BrandBoosters is our agency, and what we are doing, we are helping creators to monetize their followers by doing some print-on-demand products.
Or just not really that, just launching
e-commerce, just launch e-commerce solution, So you can always contact us. There's contacts in the description. And also, guys, if you have any questions or some interesting topics you would like us to speak about, just comment, let us know. It will help us to create a more interesting podcast for you guys.
One more thing, but I would really love to ask for anyone who's actually watching this video, and for those who, took their time out of their days to actually listen to us, rant about e-commerce and stuff. If you do find it valuable, if you do find it, that sharing our knowledge, something resonates with you, please do like our video. It doesn't cost you anything, but it means everything to us. Subscribe to our channel, and then, if it's even possible, share it with somebody who, would be interested as well. We're just aiming to share our knowledge, and then, as much as possible, spread the news about e-commerce opportunities in the market and new ways to actually make some money and monetize your own, create a side hustle or create a business eventually.
Thank you guys, and cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much. See ya.
See you next time.